Okay, everybody, we're back here live again at the expedition. I have another interview to do, and we're going to be talking with Mark from Respiratory Labs, correct? Did I get that right?
That is correct.
All right. What was your last name?
Rataco.
Yeah, I knew what it was. I wasn't going to try to say it, so bear with me on that. So tell us about the company.
So I always think it's helpful to give a little background information about myself. I had a mold remediation business up in Portland, Oregon. Started that in 2011. Very fortunate enough to sell that in 2022. And at the time, we were doing about 4,000 mold remediation and assessment jobs a year. And one of the frustrating parts for me was, as an owner, we had individuals that no matter what we did, there's something in that space that was making them sick. And we couldn't determine what that was. It didn't matter whether we did, indoor air quality, VOC canisters, brought in industrial hygienists. There was something they couldn't go back in. Looking back at it now, there's probably mycotoxins left behind after the remediation.
And that's something new to this industry, at least mainstream.
It absolutely is. I mean, a lot of individuals, especially with remediators, don't even know what mycotoxins are. We haven't been really trained on it. We don't know how to assess for it, and we certainly don't know how to remediate it. And that's where this lab comes in. Now we can verify whether they're in the indoor air, and then verify if the remediation protocols for these mycotoxins are actually removing them.
Okay, and I've heard that some of these mycotoxins almost act like tar balls. They're sticky. They're hard to get off of surfaces.
Yeah, they're very sticky. And one of the things, because now that we're able to test the indoor air, we were able to determine actually how they're becoming airborne. And a couple of ways that we saw was, one, through the evaporation process, we're drying down these structures. Most of the mycotoxins are hydrophobic. They're going to sit on the water molecule, and they're being released into the air through that evaporation process. We also tested a lot of, HEPA scrubbers. Most of the ones that we tested, we didn't find one that were actually removing the mycotoxins. They're actually increasing it. I'm sure there's something out there that actually works. We just haven't been able to find that and verify it. And then the interesting thing is, in order to get them out of the indoor air, what we did find that works was actually dehumidification. So dehumidifying the environment, actually removes it from the indoor air. So there are methods to actually, test if it's there, and then also see if it can be removed, down to acceptable levels.
Well, that seems like an entirely new path for training, because that's contra to, I guess, everybody air scrubbing.
Like I said, there may be some air scrubbers out there that actually work. We just haven't been able to validate them yet. And I'm hopeful that there are. The more methods we have to remediate these mycotoxins, the better the industry is going to be. I really think the industry has to start looking at mold and mycotoxin remediation, not only on the testing side, but also on the remediation side. Otherwise, we're potentially opening up ourselves to liability.
So do you still do remediation work now?
No, thank goodness I no longer have to do remediation.
No more. Just consulting at this point? Or are you trying to avoid that too?
No, trying to avoid that too. Our goal is just to be a lab, but because we're a lab and we're actually the only lab here that is actually testing using our system for airborne mycotoxins, I get a lot of questions on how to, remove them from protocols, things of that nature, products. We don't want to be in that position. That's why we're excited about our partnership. We're working with Normie to help get protocols down that everybody can have some success.
Well, it's an exciting new field, the way I look at it. I mean, I've been doing remediation for about 20 years, or assessment and remediation work. And this is something new that's come up, and it's become part of the vocabulary that even the customers are using.
It certainly is. I mean, right now we're getting a lot of people who are actually, going to functional medicine doctors. They're doing a urine or blood sample, and they're coming back with elevated levels of mycotoxins. And they really need to determine whether it's the environment that's causing the issue, whether it's something they're ingesting, or maybe it's at their workplace. And this test allows them to help make those determinations.
Well, that's exciting stuff. I mean, it's something that's needed. We know that even the sensitized individual population has grown fivefold from what it was, just 10 years ago. So it's the way we build, the way we live, the things that we do. And this is all stuff that's needed and it's exciting. We're right on the edge of this new stuff.
Absolutely.
So, Mark, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks.
Take
bud.
care.